been known for my cautious side. You should know that I'm well aware. I don't want anything left untried. Will you come with me, mon cher? So let us just do my love. And I'm thinking the earth is over.
Welcome.
So let us just
I'm Easy Nights. This is Nights Got Weird, your one-stop destination for everything weird, therapeutic, and artsy. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is habits that we might build based on our relationships with others that are close to us. Because it's usually the ones who are close that almost assist in our definition of ourselves. So, one thing I know you talked about was being in a conversation with people. And having to basically fix it or tweak it because you're so used to the conversations you have more on a personal level in your life.
Yeah.
So, talking to certain people, you have to make an adjustment because you're so used to, one thing you were naming was basically like having to be on the defense.
Yes.
Right? And tell me what you were basically saying.
So, what I noticed with having conversations with people outside of like immediate people that I'm having conversations with, when we get to a moment where it's like it could turn into a heated debate.
Yeah.
It almost feels like that's what it has to be. It has to be a heated debate in order for us to communicate to one another.
Right. And a lot of times we do that with family.
Right. So, I had to say to myself, like, is this what this person's intentions really are?
Right.
Or is it just me?
Usually when you talk to people, you gotta do the energy test.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we've done the energy test and that's not our problem now. The problem is, let's say your family. I've been told I have to accept your energy. That's our problem because that's not the only problem, and that's not all of our problem.
Right.
But that's a lot of our problems. We are past the stranger part where it's like I'm trying to check your energy. That's the only reason why I'm acting like this, because I don't know you. Right. We on the I know you, and I've been told, and I've accepted that I have to accept this. So now it comes to a place where we're both holding this weird kind of loyalty because of, mind you, the stuff we be loyal to, we're loyal to because we were told to be loyal to it.
Yep.
And then we identify with it, and then we found nostalgia in it, and among other things. And you can see the beautiful, like this, it's not, being loyal isn't bad. It's just certain times you're loyal. It's like, are you loyal because you actually decided to be? Or are you loyal because
the choice was made for you?
The choice was made for you. So then we having these conversations and we talking at each other, being disrespectful low key, or just on the energy of like it's a disrespectful mood. Like,
yeah,
kind of rising up. Like nobody has real respect for each other in this conversation. Like we be like
just talking
bad about each other in a nice way. That it's like, that's not even necessary.
No, I agree with that. I think that when it comes to the phrases that people use against each other, there is a fine line between like, I have no respect for you, like legit, I have no respect for you. Between that and then having respect for someone, because it just wouldn't. And I get that we get comfortable in the environment of it all, because if you've heard that for 5-10 years, that's regular commentary for you, you know? Yeah. So it's like, it's interesting to see that one line could be taken as, you crazy. Right. But to a person who's like, well, I don't even talk like that, it's like, that's some disrespectful stuff. Right. You know? Yeah. So it's interesting that we have so many different ways to communicate, but we choose what we choose and how we choose to communicate what it is that we want to say in a way where it's like we've come so far from like, hey, how are you? Yeah. And now it's like, nah, it's this and that. It's like you're not even being polite out the gate. It's like, nah, take this rudeness.
Right out the gate, like we've gotten so accustomed to putting a mask on or changing things, which change is gonna come anyway. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's a. I'm wondering if it's a recipe for a certain disaster. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can see it that way, and other people can see it totally different, because that's the next thing, right? Do we have to find it disrespectful? Like, are we gonna judge what people are saying? Or are we gonna judge their energy? Because at the end of the day, know how I said in the beginning, like, oh, we did the energy test. Now it's just accepting your energy. Okay, so let's say we made a decision to say we don't accept certain types of energy, right? On the majority of the time. Are we able then to look past the way a person is saying it and just look at their energy? Because there's some people that curse, and there's some people that use derogatory type of things that don't bother me. I'd be like,
it would have to be on me at that point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's always on you. But I'm saying, now that you know it's on you, like, can you do that? Can you constantly kind of understand the difference between the two? Like, okay, you saying some bad stuff, but you don't carry that energy when you saying it. So I'm not gonna take it like you saying it.
I could see that.
Because there's some stuff I say. There's some stuff I say. There's some stuff you say. Well, we say it in a different way, right? Yeah. And as much as we want to be able to pinpoint what's bad, that's up for debate all the time. Right. What's actually bad to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So we have to be able to look at ourselves and do the same thing. Sometimes when we're talking to people, we may think we sound polite, but the way another person has been brought up, or the way their experience is, whatever, they can hear us and we can sound really disrespectful. You ready? Come on. Sometimes if something's connected, right? Let's say, let's say Houston is connected to San Antonio, Texas, right? Most of the time, you don't even notice the difference between that line, right? You wouldn't even know. Maybe you catch the sign, maybe you don't, right? What does that mean? That means that on both separate sides, there can be something completely different going on, enough to notice. Yet, the connection could be so graceful in a way, or so connected that you wouldn't really notice the difference.
Okay.
So, in language, maybe we can just connect. Sometimes when you make a connection with somebody, you like, let's say you go to somebody you would call like a gangster or something like that, right? They be some of the sweetest people outside of that, right? What does that mean when you talk to them or you experience that you made a connection with something else?
Right.
So you don't always have to focus on the negativity or the so, but you can. It's up to you. What I'm saying is, to everybody listening, make sure you maybe focus on your connection. Am I making a connection here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm not making a connection, okay, move on. That's another thing we don't really like to do, because maybe we feel some sort of loyalty to it. Like, if we have a problem with somebody, right? Why do we stay so long to deal with the problems? We could just leave. We could just...
When you said that, I think about that, right? The problem, right? And I'm just like, I'm not gonna say most of the time, but like from stories that I've heard, that person was the problem. It wasn't really the person that they were dealing with.
So they don't really run from the problem because they might be the problem? Right. So they never think they're the problem, that's why they stay in the problem that they're in, because they don't think they're the problem? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole anymore. We're not doing it. Okay. Not doing it.
That's just a thought, though. Put a pin in it.
Not doing it. But I think it's very doable. I just think it's like everything else. Some things are more doable and some things aren't. Some things you go to naturally, some things you don't. If you find yourself to be a person that it doesn't come so natural to you, I'm not saying you have to stop or not necessarily strive for it, but like find what you're natural at, because it could be just like we're saying, the communication with you and another person. It has its faults, it has its great things. When you talk to somebody, sometimes you just want to like notice the little things, like, do we talk with ease when we talk? Am I smiling a lot when we talk? It ain't always got to be because I like, Yeah. It could be with two girls that, or whatever. They don't have to be like that. But am I happy? Am I genuinely happy?
Enjoying the conversation.
Right. And how do you get up out of there without bashing the person? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we swear we need an escape statement. Like,
oh, you mean as far as like we can't say just, all right, I'll talk to you later?
Yeah, like we can't just be like, even like in a breakup or something. Like a lot of people can, it's like, if this don't blow up, there's nothing. Like there's
there has to be a lasting drop.
There has to be a glue.
She's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that you'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making first.
But I do understand what you mean.
All the faking, and she'll be there.
I mean, it has to be. This is the last time you ever gonna see me. A lot of us don't know how to just be like, bygones be bygones.
That's a good observation.
Like, I gotta get you. You don't understand. I have to make
her feel better. And that's where she'll go.
Gonna feel this pain. And we don't believe that a lot of us be trying to be God.
What do you mean by that?
If it's up to me to make sure you feel this pain.
Okay.
If it's up to me, you know what I'm saying? Okay. All these different type of things are just like, Why are you taking so much responsibility over something like that? Why is the revenge so strong? Why do you feel obligated to have revenge? And what's the point of destroying you if I go too? Other than I know when I'm operating in this, that's what it makes me think. It makes me think we are both gonna die here.
Yep. Ooh.
But when I'm not in that, I can see why I should let you live.
Right.
Because I'll let me live. That's what we do in our minds. So through little conversation talks, yes, there's different variables, there's different things you notice, there's different habits you build because, you've been through certain circumstances. But if you feel like it, try to look at life in a way where you can notice the details once again. Because the details is like not having cheat answers to the test, but then you realize there was never a test that you needed the answers to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
You already have them.
You already have the answers. People don't really test you on stuff you already know.
Yeah.
So how about stop taking so many tests like you've been trained to do?
Right.
And just remember that you passed the class. You don't take that again unless you feel like it. But then you feel like it.
Right.
And then it's cool. So if
Because you're in control.
Because you remember. Have a nice night. This is Nights Got Weird. I'm Easy Nights.
And it's Brooklyn Nights.
And this is your one-stop destination for everything weird.
Artsy.
Ain't no RT before. Ain't no RT right. Let me handle this. I got this.
Okay.
For everything weird, therapeutic, and artsy. Have a nice night.